And we are live with episode 23 of the Speaker podcast. Oh, he left. I got to fix the
the graphic now.
Yeah. There we go.
No worries.
Not a big problem. Just a little adjustment there. This might look kind of funny on y'all's end.
I mean, we're kind of panning into frame now.
Exactly.
Which is kind of funny.
Right. See, behind the scenes look at how this works.
They got to figure it out at some point.
So kind of a lighter twab, only because they did release the Arc 3.0 deets earlier in the week. So it's gonna be we're kind of just gonna go through it, and then after that, what we'll end up doing is we'll actually kind of talk a little bit more in depth about Arc 3.0.
Mm-hmm. And just some ideas that we have about build crafting and what weapons we think are going to be meta, exactly. how to deal with Arc specifically.
Yeah. Yep. So
cool.
I guess we'll just dive right in. Well, I mean, first off, Sam, how's your week been, man?
It's been good. We did this Wednesday, so nothing too terrible has changed. Busy night on Friday for work for me. Looking forward to obviously spending some time on the weekend with the wife. So otherwise, everything's good. How about yours?
It has been. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've spent some time today playing some Gambit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's gone, about as well as you'd expect. It's Gambit after all.
Right.
But just doing that. I've been playing around in PvP this week with Stasis, trying to prepare my overall loadout for next season, considering the Titans with the overshields, just the overall speed, the momentum and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So getting ready for that, playing around with the slow globe grenades and the cold snap grenades. Quick, whatever.
Getting used to the timing on everything.
Yeah, kind of. And it's been going okay. The playlist has been really strange because there's just not, you can look at the populations on the Guardian report and the Crucible report and stuff. Just not a ton of people playing right now. Getting ready for next season. So. Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited. I think it's fair to say we both are.
For sure.
And we're trying to get ready. I know we've gotten in the last month or so gotten back in the swing of doing regular raids. So super stoked. There was quite a few leaks that came out, and I'm not going to even mention the words used. Did you see what I'm talking about? Did you see any of it?
Yeah, okay. I did see one, and I don't know.
Season of the thing, and
the partnership
and the something thing a raid, which is awesome. So yeah,
I actually didn't see that leak. I saw that Bungie supposedly has a partnership with another big franchise, and the armor for the next season got leaked.
I didn't see that.
So supposedly Fortnite and Destiny have partnered together.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And the armor got leaked recently.
Oh okay, well, I didn't see that.
I have the photo here. If I send it to you, can it show up on screen?
I can. I don't know how to make that happen. I don't really have a thing on here to go from my mobile device to. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, never mind that.
I don't really have a method. But yeah, that's fine. Not a big deal. I don't really want to give anything away anyways.
I'm really hoping it's all fake. I'm not a fan of Fortnite, and I don't want to... I think it would be dumb. But I mean, it would be very advantageous for Bungie as a company to get their name out there with this, and what better way to than a former massive game. I mean, it's still huge, but it's...
I'll say this much. There was a tweet, by a person, and this person, just a nobody, said, hey, whoever, Cosmo or DMG, whoever it was, I can't remember. We've never had a pirate-themed season. When can we expect that? And the person responded, no comment. So, so
I would like to see some pirates. I would like to see some cool stuff.
yeah, I love
That could be
pirates.
fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The season of plundering the booty.
That'd be his season for sure,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. So yeah, but yeah, we'll get into the actual TWAB now and kind of go over some of the stuff that's in there. Again, a lot of just dates and stuff. We have basically the roadmap laid out before us.
Yeah, for this season, for the upcoming
season.
one.
Yeah. And it's important to remember things are kind of weird still because we are still in that weird transition where we still have another season, and that season's not going to drop until later in the year, like end of October kind of thing.
Yeah.
So important to remember that detail. This is, and then after that season, then we're going on through into February whenever the next expansion comes out. So
yeah, because we have season of redact, whatever, this most recent one's coming up in 3 days, and then that'll carry us into the next one, and that one will drop us off right at the doorstep of Lightfall. Which, man, if they've been revamping every super up to this point, what are they going to do big for the last season leading into it?
Did you see the potential leak for the subclass?
Isn't that corruption or something?
They called it something else. Do you want me to say it?
Was it like toxic or poison?
They're calling it Strand.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny because so many people were like the green theme, and they were talking about, I'm just kind of say it on here, the pot theme or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have different strands of pot.
Oh
so it's kind of funny. But yeah, they're calling it season of the or not season. I'm sorry, not season. They're calling it Strand. So take that for what you will. And that is just a potential leak. So.
But nevertheless, let's get into this, and we'll talk about speculations when we're done with it. This TWAB is really light. It is the roadmap for what this next season is going to be. Release dates for the next raid, GMs, trials, all that fun stuff. Additionally, I don't think they mention when the Halloween event is. I know we are getting it in this season, but it doesn't actually say. It does talk about when we're going to get our Iron Banner. Was there something else? I feel like there was something else. Oh, we also talk about
trials.
The trials. Yeah, I think I said that already. But anyways, let's get into it.
This week at Bungie, we're talking Season 18 mods, Arc 3.0, and some additional save the dates. Not too much longer before our grand showcase, Guardians, and believe me when I say that we cannot wait and show you what's on or what all's next. It'll be a fun time for all of you, but August 23rd isn't quite here yet, so we've got some juicy morsels for you to mull over in the meantime. How does talking about Season 18 mods, more showcase details, and a closer look at the next subclass rework sound to you? Sounds good? Great, let's get into it. So, just talking directly, we'll go right into kind of Arc 3.0 here. And again, went over a lot of the details already. This is basically just a quick run over, and they do a better job of just being pretty brief here. So I think I'll skip down a little bit because there's no real details. They basically tell you to go back to that article.
And honestly, if you didn't watch our last podcast or the TWAB, basically they say the new debuff is called Jolt, and we have Blind, what we've always had, and then our new buffs are Amplified and like Momentum. So those are the big things we'll be working with, kind of like how Restoration, Cure, Ignite, all those things happened for the last one. The new ones we'll be working with are these. Check out our previous podcast or just read this yourself. But we're going to skip over it just for sake of time.
Yeah, that's fair. Like there's, details, Blind, Jolt, stuff like that right there. But getting into the artifact mods, because that is
that's the good stuff.
That's the meat of this TWAB, which is really, really good. So we'll start here. Andrew Veen. We've got a lot of love for machine guns and the weapon meta, featuring them heavily with the new season. We have several ways to share that love when crafting that perfect new Arc build. With Arc 3.0 being all about the rapid-fire mayhem, making mods like Holster, Scavenger, and Overload more obtainable and unlocked sooner seem like a great fit. There's a trifecta of returning favorites from Season of the Chosen: Scout/Sniper targeting, anti-barrier snipers, Sundering Glare. We're excited about these especially because players have been clamoring for their return of anti-barrier sniper. Yes, we have.
It is so satisfying.
So nice. And the season's meta and encounter types made it the perfect time to add it on. One of the new mods we're featuring is Bad Amplitude. We created this particular mod to increase access to Jolt in Season 18, while also giving players a new answer to the age-old question, how can I make champions explode? Hype Train Conductor and Trace Evidence are also new to the artifact, though these two mods will make more sense when you have had some hands-on time in Arc 3.0. For mods that are entirely new, we've got those mods bolded so it's easy to spot what's new. Anything not bolded is either based on previous mods or reprisals. So,
like in previous seasons, we're going to have some stuff that just straight up amplifies the arc and really highlighting that, as that is what Bungie wants you to focus on for this next season.
For sure.
The mods are nice and all, but when you're considering crafting a build, remember these mods are going to go away. So if you're trying to make a staple arc build, try to figure out ways without using seasonal mods first, and then use the seasonal mods to kind of add into it.
Yep.
So that way you're not like handicapped when the season's over, if that makes sense.
Word.
I know myself personally, our fire team is ecstatic about getting anti-barrier sniper rifle back, because it's so satisfying to just pop a hive, or not a hive, a taken goblin that's just across the map before he even sees you. Just line up the Izzy shot and just boom, 2 sniper rifles, down it goes. So satisfying.
It's very satisfying. It is very satisfying.
Because for a while there, they had overload sniper rifle too. Because you popped it with it was the same.
I don't think they haven't had overload sniper yet.
That's right.
That would be very hard to use, honestly.
I was thinking something else. I was thinking because you were using Divinity, it popped him and then we shot him.
Exactly.
Skip that.
Which, just go ahead and throw that out there. I will be running Divinity probably all season, and that's fine. And that's fine. What you're looking at here, just think of your current like mod, your artifact, right? This is basically set up the same structure. So you have your first column, then after 2 perk choices, second column, 4 perk choices, third column, 8 perk choices, fourth column, and 10 perk choices, you have your fifth and final column. And again, important to remember, they fixed it last season or whatever. You can unlock all these now. You don't have to worry about.
So nice.
Yes, you don't have to. You're not locked to 25 like you were before. Was it 25 or I can't remember. You were locked though.
There's 25 mods. It was like I think 12.
Yeah, like half of them.
Which, honestly, we're gonna see here in a minute that GMs are pushed back until like late October.
Yeah.
This gives you time, if you're able to do it, you're able to unlock all your mods before getting into Grandmasters, giving you plenty of time to get ready for that and just be ready to throw down. Which I think at first I was like, man, I want Grandmasters sooner than that, but I'm like, wait, August, September, November. No. Anyway, homeschooled.
So we'll get into this first row. Overload bows for arms. All the champion mods are, of course, on the arms. So overload bows, unstoppable pulse, anti-barrier scouts, anti-barrier autos, unstoppable shotguns. So we're getting the shotguns back. That's kind of cool. If you got those lead from gold Vorpal or a lead from gold like 1-2 punch shotguns, get ready for those. Those are going to be fun. Those rapid fire shotguns. Second column, we have, after 2 perk choices, Scout Rifle Loader, Sword Ammo Scavenger, Machine Gun Holster, Scout and Sniper Targeting, and Bottomless Bounty, which just improves 2 of the Origin perks, kind of like we've had for the last couple of seasons now. After 4 perk choices, Glaive Loader, Focusing Strike, causing damage with a melee ability grants class ability energy. That's going to be a fun one. Combo Arc plus Solar Resist, which is,
it's telling that's what we could be dealing with. I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of Fallen this next season.
Fallen and Vex,
and
potentially.
I'm thinking Fallen in Hive, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe.
Hive have a lot of solar grenades and stuff.
Machine Gun Ammo Scavenger, Bottomless Bounty Part 2 improves another 2 Origin traits. Moving on, after 8 perk choices, Overload LMG, which, that's pretty self-explanatory. Anti-barrier sniper! Hell yeah. Bad Amplitude.
So
Damaging a champion with an arc ability causes the champion to become jolted, which is cool. Surge Detonators. Inferno Whip. After 10 perk choices, Thunderous Retort. Arc supers do more damage when cast while in critical condition or while amplified. I like that because we had one before where you got the extra super energy whenever you were critically injured, but adding amplified to that is so nice. Hype train conductor plus 2 seconds to amplified timer, which stacks, which is awesome. Trace evidence. Precision hits on arc debuff targets will generate ionic traces. And that is very interesting because it just says precision hits.
Yep.
So I'm thinking divinity. And
maybe. I mean, I feel like if what you do with the divinity and you just start like getting a stream of ionic traces hitting you, I feel like that's going to be nerfed in like days, but that's still a fun idea to try.
Well, I don't think it'll be a stream. I think it'll be like, I don't think it's just going to be like a nonstop stream. I would hope.
That's like one every couple seconds or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it's, with hits. So I don't know that divinity will generate them, but I'm thinking like y'all's weapons will generate them if I'm using divinity.
It's true.
Crazy like every hit. So interesting enough. Anyways, lightning strikes twice and sundering glare. So this is what you have to look forward to. This is honestly some good stuff. Sundering glare is great. Lightning strikes twice. That's great. Inferno whip, great.
So honestly, what I can see happening right now is you take the top one on the final column and you throw a grenade at your feet to make yourself to wound yourself or just become amplified, and then all of the titans with the Curse of the Falling Star. So for those of you who weren't in the Season of the Splicer meta when that was a thing, that also came out with a chess piece for the titan that allowed them to do like the crazy damage that Code of the Missile has been now synonymous with. So, like, watching Titans just obliterate strike bosses with that.
And this is just going to add to that.
It's hilarious. It worked as well with Warlocks, with the Kamehameha. Yeah. But the damage that a Warlock could put out in 15 seconds was equivalent to 1 impact from a Titan like that. So it was just, okay, run Titan. Like, that's damage. But I'm looking at some of these things here, and I'm looking at like what would my build look like, especially for our fire team. And I can tell you right now, I'm taking barrier auto rifle, and I'm taking my fire fright with osmosis and fragile focus, because that's already my whole shtick is running our well builds and running my solar class. I'm gonna run Monarch, which intrinsically has overload bow.
Yes, sir.
And running whatever kind of heavy we need. And I'm sure you two will pick up the anti-sniper.
I don't know if I'm picking up anti-sniper because, again, I'll be running div.
I guess it just kind of depends on the champions we're dealing with.
It depends. I will definitely be running bad amplitude because I will be disrupting overload champions like crazy.
For sure.
And probably the surge detonator. I like that. But it's going to be good. Snipe. Good to see a snipe. Says overload machine gun mod. Laughs maniacally while pulling out heir apparent.
Yeah. It's arc.
For sure.
It's arc.
It is arc. It is arc, and I do believe it does more damage than Thunderlord.
Yeah. So I seen a damage test with all of the LMGs, and actually not surprisingly, Grand Overture destroyed every LMG in the game as far as damage. It obliterated. So you go up to 20, drop the missiles, and then just keep going. It was outpacing everything. So Grand Overture was the one from it was the one from the Witch Queen.
Yeah.
And it's a Cabal basically heavy machine gun.
Yeah.
And this I actually just got the catalyst for it. It makes a difference because the catalyst gives you an extra stability, or is it stability or range, and then your missiles all do blinding.
Right.
So, especially with this new meta coming up, blinding missiles and a barrage of 20 of them coming at you is going to be, it's going to be nasty. So I'm excited about it.
I'm going to go over this. I have Dim opened up for everybody to see right now. So don't laugh at my vault. There's a reason I'm almost maxed out. It's because I'm going to delete a bunch of stuff beginning of the season.
Same.
But right here, we got a couple of ARC LMGs besides our legendaries. Of course, Thunderlord, Heir Apparent Solar. So we have Grand Overture, which might actually be the play. I like this. 7 Seraph Saw, one of my favorites. Auto-loading Vorpal, great LMG, high impact, slow firing. It also rolls with firing line. I got an auto-loading firing line that'll probably be the play. There's Swarm. If you guys picked up a decent Swarm, I've got an Outlaw Dragonfly. I honestly, I think that's going to be overshadowed by the 7th Seraph, just personally. So,
honestly, the one from this season, the Ritual Weapon.
Yeah, it's a Stasis.
Yeah, but it has Osmosis.
It has Osmosis, yeah.
So that's going to be playable in any of the GMs, being able to break shields, because it comes with Adaptive Ammunitions, Adrenaline Junkie, Osmosis, and Demolitionist. So you can pick one of your 4 perks, but the play for me is always Osmosis, but Adaptive Ammunitions is really nice.
It's great.
If you're just trying to get in there, and especially if using your Stasis, going to slow down those opponents as well.
For sure.
So all in all, these mods are pretty good, and I'm very excited to get to start to playtest with some of these, but basically got to unlock them as soon as we can.
Now, Snipes over here laughing at Overload LMG. Yes, the maniacal man inside of me is laughing at Scout and Sniper targeting, which is going to be free sniper targeting for one mod, 1 point. So yeah. Thank you, Bungie. I appreciate it. It's going to be nice.
See, I'm also still a fan of my commemoration with, I think mine was not recombination. Recombination's the one where like doubles the magazine size the longer it stays in your backpack, right?
Una momento, por favor. Reconstruction. Yeah, Reconstruction.
Yeah, okay. So Reconstruction Commemoration. Commemoration was the LMG from Deepstone Crypt. It's a void. Adaptive. It feels like a nice not Thunderlord, but Hammerhead. It's honestly been my replacement for Hammerhead. Yeah. And with Recombination and
Reconstruction.
That one, Reconstruction, and I think mine had I don't think mine had Vorpal. I think mine has I don't know if it is Firefly or something else, but basically it slaps, and all I gotta do is just pull it on my backpack whenever I'm ready, and it has like 100 something rounds in it. It's so good. That's definitely one to get your hands on, especially if the meta is going to shift to this running around with LMGs to clear ads, especially if we're moving back into sniper meta for DPS. That we could actually see a rise in some good ad clearing LMGs
for sure. So Commemoration doesn't roll Vorpal.
That's right. So something else.
Reconstruction or Feeding Frenzy are both going to be great right there. Reconstruction,
I think I had Feeding Frenzy
better, but Dragonfly, Unrelenting, Rampage, and then the other 3 in the 4th column: Moving Target, Eye of the Storm, and Under Pressure. All 3 of those are kind of meant for PvP. But yeah, the Reconstruction with any of those, Dragonfly, Unrelenting, or Rampage, is going to be solid.
Oh, for sure.
So, we ready to move on?
Let's do it.
Get in, Guardian. We're getting our calendars. Iron Banner, Grandmaster, Nightfalls, and more. Oh my. Yep, it's that time again. Time to roll out the invite list for some key dates to keep an eye on while diving deep into the new season. Let's make it Facebook official and set the date. Raid launch set for August 26th. That is next Friday, Guardians. Let's get it done.
3 sleeps.
3 sleeps. For 3 sleeps?
We're Saturday?
For the raid launch?
Saturday. Oh, I meant like for the season, but continue. Continue.
Yeah. 3 sleeps for the season. I was talking about the raid. Iron Banner arrives September 6th and November 15th. Both weeks will feature the new Eruption mode. I don't like only having Iron Banner 2 times a season, but is what it is.
Yeah.
Trials of Osiris brings back the Lighthouse on September 16th, and Grandmaster Nightfalls return on October 4th. Last but not least, Festival of the Lost makes everything haunted on October 18th.
So they do give the date. Sweet. I'm excited for that. That's a week after
and
my
remember,
anniversary.
y'all, I just want y'all to remember, Team Mex. Yeah.
So excited.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
Yep.
Every time I load into chat now, it's just going to be playing the Evangelion opener. It's going to be great.
But
Just
yeah,
come down with my extended wings.
they talk about the they give the thing, the announcement for the showcase and all that again. This is going to be the new Twitch emblem, which is sexy. Honestly,
I like it.
It's quite pretty. Twitch drops are debuting for Destiny 2 for the first time. As a small token of appreciation for stopping by and watching our Destiny 2 showcase on Twitch, we'll be offering up this glorious Starbirth emblem as a reward. So they explain, to be eligible, you'll need to make sure that your Twitch account is linked with your Destiny 2 account in your Bungie.net profile so you don't miss out on the emblem. It's pretty simple. Simply tune into the official Bungie Twitch channel. There are 9 channels total on August 23rd, and watch at least 30 minutes of the showcase for that sweet celebratory loot. For more information, please visit our Twitch Drops Help article.
I mean, this is a pretty common thing now. A lot of different, like Dota, Smite, League, they give out rewards to the community for watching the streams. It's cool to see Destiny get behind that as well. It also shows that maybe they're going to get behind more streamers and giving out loot to kind of boost the numbers for the community. That would be cool to see as well. But
100%. And then wrapping up, that's a wrap on our latest Twabtastic adventure. It feels good. Going into the weekend, knowing I'm far from alone and being excited for next week. Our teams are beyond jittery with hype over here, and we're seeing your excitement too, which only amplifies our own that much more. Basically, we're all just a big ball of intrigue, anticipation, and desire to fully immerse ourselves in what's next together, and that's what it's all about, really. Until then, make sure you're drinking lots of water, soaking in good vibes, and always putting your kindest foot forward. We'll see you next week, Guardians. I should go hippie. And that's your twat.
So, yeah, pretty late. Something else I want to talk to specifically a little bit about is we've got a few minutes here before we got to get going, but it was last week that they did there was a podcast, and we've talked about this I think during the ARC stream as well. There was a podcast about the changes to weapons and all that stuff. What's the guy's name? I forget it again. Starts like a D.
Mercules,
never mind. Yeah, it starts with a M. So Mercules does like spreadsheets and different kinds of stuff in stats for Destiny as far as like damage testing and all that stuff.
What he used to do, and then he got hired by Bungie as a weapons designer.
So he said that on a podcast with Critical Analysis, and they asked him all kinds of questions and stuff, and some of the questions that came up were very, very interesting, and one of the things they talked about was nerfing Divinity. That's an exotic I don't think that needs touched, honestly, because it's not crucial. Well, it's nice for those day one raids. It's nice for bosses where you have a full team together. It's helping your team land those shots, but you're also giving up an extra person for DPS. Truthfully speaking, Divinity holds you back. That might be a hot take, but if you have 6 Guardians who can land their shots, then wasting a slot for Divinity, you're losing out on what could be maximum DPS. Divinity helps the whole team get to a better damage number.
When you watch the streamers that are doing that are like, raid gods, right? And they're doing consistent one phase bosses or something like that, whatever it is. What's his name on Deep Stone Crypt? You see people one phasing that. Nobody's using Divinity. They're all hitting their crits, right? And they're all using linear fusion rifles. They're all just really good at hitting their shots. We do use, I'm typically the one, I use Divinity whenever we do that, because there might be some people that aren't so good at hitting their crits, so this gives everybody a big fat juicy bubble to shoot at. But no, I totally agree. Divinity is not, it's not broken.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary. It's not even, I'm not going to call it a crutch, but it helps. It's just a help.
Honestly, I would call it training wheels.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
So like for Deepstone, the final boss, it's nice to have. Instead of having to like crane your neck all the way up to see the guy's head, and he kind of like moves around a little bit, you have an unmovable bubble underneath him. Rolk for Val the Discipled, he moves around a ton. To get max deeps, it's almost, you could say it would be necessary to have it. It's really not. because while you're hitting him, he has weak spots on five different spots on his body: 2 shoulders, 2 legs, head. You can use bait and switch. You can use firing line.
The only thing on him that's not a weak spot is his big fat chest. Like
which is hilarious.
Which is great.
But they've taken that into account, and you don't have to use Divinity. So I don't think Divinity needs a nerf. I did, however, see that one of the other things I talked about was Lord of Wolves. Which the change for Lord of Wolves,
dude,
that's coming in the future.
Oh my god!
It's the change that's coming in the future is actually hilarious to me. So Lord of Wolves is going to turn into a pulse rifle.
Exactly.
Mixed with an auto rifle or shotgun.
I'll explain. It's primary firing mode, just like it has normally, where it does its 5-round burst. That'll be so it'll remain. It'll feel completely unchanged. It'll feel exactly the same as it does now, but it'll be a pulse rifle. That way, they can bring the damage way the F down, and make it a normal gun. As opposed to leaving it where it is. The thing is I think they've realized there's no way to balance that gun. That's just not.
No, it's not.
And it's really yeah.
And it's a shame because that's a really cool gun.
It's a cool gun.
And they can't just get rid of it because that is literally the gun that the Fallen use. Right. That's what the captains use.
So, and let's talk about the other change. So, whenever you release the wolves, that's where you hold the reload button and you activate release the wolves. That will convert it into an auto rifle. Okay? Which is hilarious and awesome. I love that.
I know.
I do have one additional change I would like to see. Yeah. I would like to see them do with that exactly what Skyburners does, and it does extra damage to Fallen. That's it.
Yeah, honestly, if they're gonna make this kind of a drastic change to it now in the future, I would like to see that as well. Now, they did talk about how this change isn't coming until the following season. We're looking at season 19.
Well, they said they gave it a 2-part change. The first part is now. That's where they basically just bring it down, and then part 2 coming in season 19 is big change.
The big boy change, which is going to completely change its identity.
I love this.
I do too, honestly, because first off, it's a sweet gun, and I haven't really used it that often. Like I've used it to get the catalyst. I'm excited to try it out a bit more, especially with it having that dual purpose. I wonder if it can run both champ mods. Like if you have overload, auto rifle, and then anti-barrier pulse, can it swap between the two and utilize both at the same time? That would make it super meta. And getting to run like other things for damage. Like honestly, yeah, if you're giving up a Galahorn and Izzy's, or depending on what the meta is, and you're basically swapping it out for a double primary in itself, that actually would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Snipe says he released a
correction about Lord of Wolves. He said that it is basically a close range pulse. Currently, they say that they are turning up its. They didn't say they are turning up its range. No, they didn't say that.
But pulse doesn't need to have it. I mean, honestly, it's still going to be a sick gun, and I'm looking forward to seeing those changes.
Same.
Some of the other things they talked about too was Monte Carlo with the blade part. And they wanted to know how long before we can start using it as a glaive, and he said no comment. But I'm winking right now.
Dude, that's awesome. That and like Red Death back in the day, Crimson now, like I would love to see them just have, whenever you use your regular melee, like them have some effect there.
Some extra oomph. So honestly, I think and there was another thing they brought up too was a lot of these guns that have been coming out are not taking advantage of our new abilities, as far as like the light and dark, or just like the amplified or the jolting, of that stuff.
He said specifically they're looking at the flavor text on weapons to adjust them to where they do like for solar weapons applying more scorch, right? For arc weapons applying jolt.
Yeah.
So,
and all that stuff. The speculation here is we'll probably end up seeing all of that stuff get changed in the season before Lightfall.
Yeah.
The other thing that they said that I thought was really interesting was the team that runs the weapon sandboxes and the story and everything else, they're several seasons ahead of where we're at currently.
Yeah, they're on like season. I think he said specifically like they're like in 21 right now or something. Like
yeah.
That. So
and that's why the weapons team was able to turn around like, okay, hang on, go back to season 18, drop half of it into season 17, and then make some minor changes for 18, and then go back to what they were working on.
Right.
I think that's also cool. The other thing I thought was really interesting, and something that we very often even hear when we talk about, we take for granted, is we talk about how they don't play test things, or that is like at least a common misconception that they don't play test. Mercules wanted to put that to bed right away. He's like, on average, I play about 2 to 3 hours when I start my day.
He said 3 to 4 hours every single day. He said
and
himself he plays that much, and he said everyone else is 2 to 3 hours.
So then they did the math and they said like, okay, so if everyone played for this amount of time based in for this season, they're getting several thousand hours in. If everyone was doing that, the hour that the community gets it's a year of playtesting for them. And if we have it for a day, we're gonna find stuff that breaks way before they do, because they don't have the time to keep up with that.
Well, there's just more of us.
Right, and that's kind of what we talked about too, about with matchmaking being skill based. Like, the more data you give into the system, the more they can adjust it down. That also requires players, which is why a lot of times things come out broken, because they want that extra data from playtesting to narrow it down. So the next time you see something that's incredibly broken, like, oh, why didn't budget fix this or playtest it? Like, no, they did. They just weren't expecting all of us to find something to break that fast, that quickly, that easily. Which I think that honestly makes sense. And honestly, the next time that happens, maybe just take a minute to be like, okay, yeah. And I mean, they're definitely doing better. They're being more open with the community.
Right.
They're being a lot more forward with how they're saying things now. Destiny's heading in a good direction, and they're seeing a lot of growth. You're like, oh, this is things are gonna kill Destiny. Buy a game for how many $1 billion and expect it to go down.
So I do want to mention one more thing. They also talked about the deprecation of spec mods. That is Rampage spec, Dragonfly spec, Surrounded spec, Taken spec, stuff like that. And said specifically what that means is just enhancing the actual perks themselves. So Rampage getting a buff, Surrounded getting the buff. All of that is awesome. I would, kind of like I mentioned with Lord of Wolves, I would like to see them take that with like Taken spec and build that into specific exotics. Like again, Lord of Wolves, if you have a themed weapon, Lord of Wolves, or the linear fusion rifle, Queensbreaker, additional damage to Fallen, right? Vex Mythic class, additional damage to Vex, stuff like that. Malfeasance already does extra damage to Taken, and there's not really any Taken themed weapons. We had some back in Destiny 1.
No, do Wish Under's bow and do what was the other one? Yeah, do give Wish Unders against Taken as well, and then give what's that sniper rifle?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? Whisper the Worm.
Whisper, thank you.
Yeah. So get there's 3 weapons right there.
Right,
no, if each of these weapons had additional damage to a specific typing, then you have some more utility out of it.
Right. You would definitely see just like right now. When did you ever, before like the last couple of seasons ago, when did you ever see anybody use Skyrunners in PvE?
Never.
And now it's common. It's great. Yeah. If you're running like right now, Proving Grounds, there's always at least one person on our fire team running it.
It's a must. It's so good.
It is. So, that's what's coming. That's what Mercules mentioned. That's going to be split between season 18 and 19. Blood just said he just woke up, but I'm here. Well, thanks for being here, Blood. And for being here later too. And so, that's basically it. Again, very, very short, very light. I want to go over a couple of things real quick. I'm going to change this, pull it up. Let me see. Boom, boom, right there. Is that it? Where is it? Why is it not working?
Honestly, I'm excited for next week's TWAB.
There we go.
When we actually get to sit down and play with the new stuff. So.
Okay, leave that there. Move me around over here. I'm actually going to move me over here next to you. There we go. Yeah, all right. So I just want to give you the rundown on a couple of things that I think you need to keep your eyes open for, right? Already specifically, GMs right now, Silicon Uroma is dropping. I managed to get a triple tap Frenzy. There's also a triple tap Firing Line and triple tap Vorpal. It drops with all three. It's going to be great. Now, I've seen a lot of people online. I posted a picture of my triple tap Frenzy on Twitter, and you know, a few people commented saying, you know, that it's kinetic, so it's not going to do like the additional damage or whatever. That's fine. Kinetic weapons, if you are unaware, kinetic weapons do additional damage over elemental weapons already. That's a thing. You can see it.
And they're going to be getting a buff.
And they're going to get a buff
in the next 2 seasons, specifically to keep in pace with the extra damage that elemental weapons put out. So if you have weapons that amplify your damage, by all means, and they're kinetic, hold on to those.
Yeah, for real.
Because you're going to see some good utility out of them soon.
For sure. So Blood just commented, you guys just started. No, sir. We've been going for 41 minutes.
We're almost over.
We're about to be done, bro. But yeah, so Silicon, gonna be hot. Of course, you're keep an eye out for like, what is it? I wanted to say it was Servant Leader. Was that the one? Servant Leader, right here. Check this guy out. Subsistence Osmosis.
There you go.
That's I'm going to love this. And it can also roll Adrenaline Junkie in that same spot as Osmosis, but Subsistence Osmosis, that's going to be great next season with Anti-Barrier Scout. Of course, do remember, Wishender is going to be getting intrinsic anti-barrier rounds. Monarch, intrinsic overload.
So excited.
The Lord's chosen bow.
It's gonna be amazing.
Everything, you know, keep an eye out. We do have a fragment coming that is going to basically blind enemies whenever they like are hit by like special arc damage. So if you happen to have a plug 1, it doesn't even have to be adept. If you have a regular plug 1 with reservoir burst, it's going to be hot. If you have where is it?
Well, not even there. Plug 1. If you go into
Salvage or Salvo.
Yes, Salvage or Salvo, you can buy right now from the kiosk from a previous season. It has gosh, what is that one perk called?
Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction.
That one. And Chain Reaction specifically. It hits, it kills, they all blow up, and they all, because you hit somebody with arc, it's gonna be a huge blinding effect. It's like grandma saying, everyone take a picture, and everyone's just like, this would be great.
Tikus is getting a small buff. It's not getting anything intrinsic yet, but it's still, I would say, fairly new compared to some of the others, so I think it'll get it eventually.
The buff that Tikus is getting is faster firing, more the first arrow is going to have a longer draw time before the perfect pull goes away, and then your consistent arrows after that are going to be more effective.
Other thing to remember, Ambitious Assassin is getting buffed next season. It's going from 50% on special weapons to 120%. That means potentially you'll be able to get 3 grenades loaded, which is crazy. He says,
and a breach loader.
on a breach loader. This is insane. I'm stoked.
It's gonna be awesome.
So there's that. Be looking forward to that. If you manage to get a decent shadow price, I've got a surplus swashbuckler. I've also got a dragonfly roll. That might be pretty good. Right now in PvP, the Sorrow's Verse is an arc auto rifle, and my goodness, it's got so many perks. Right here, we'll pull this up here. So Rampage, Unrelenting, Multi-Kill Clip, Adrenaline Junkie, One for All, Frenzy,
just
Demolitionist, all of them. This thing, it's a PvP weapon, but it is made for PvE. Right here, Subsistence, fourth times, surplus, feeding frenzy. Like, this thing is going to be hot. I am going to suggest it. And then also the new one right here, the Sweet Sorrow from last season. That's also it's craftable as well, by the way. Super craftable. Demolitionist.
Oh, it's super
Vorpal,
smooth.
One for all, stats for all. Triple tap auto loading Vorpal with those. Dude, it's gonna be good.
So this gun already, I've built this and I'm using it now to like level it up. Its stability is so satisfying.
Yeah,
it's on point. It's really nice. Then there was the auto rifle specifically from Witch Queen that you can also craft.
Come to pass. I never got one of those.
So I actually have a come to pass, and it's a slow firing auto rifle, and it's getting a buff. Because it's a 360, and it's going to get a better. What did they say it was going to be like the handling? It's supposed to be able to feel different and kind of bring it up in line with the other ones. I'm actually leveling.
Screen jitter and all that.
I'm leveling up both at the same time, just so that way I have my options kind of covered. Because I'm a huge fan of auto rifles, and it's really good. It still sucks.
Yeah. You say overflow shadow price. It still sucks.
It's nice.
Well, I mean, you don't know. Maybe next season it could be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on. Just a few more options here. Hollow Words. I got really lucky and got this, I think, from Zur. Lead from Gold Vorpal, liquid coils. I'm pretty stoked about that because it's a precision frame with Lead from Gold Vorpal. So I think I'm going to be running that. If you manage to pick that up, great. Next is going to be Nezrek's Whisper. Again, super craftable, guys. And again, adaptive munitions, frenzy, Vorpal, right? Like, and the enhanced traits of all of these. Whereas Lead from Gold, Genesis. So if you pop a shield, so is that breaking a combatant shield with this weapon fills? So yeah, here's the thing: Genesis with adaptive munitions, popping shields, right? Yeah. It's gonna reload it right off the rip.
And it's an arc weapon.
So
you land that shot out of it, not the melee. The melee doesn't count as arc. It's the bullet that comes out of it. That's the part that will then give the blinding effect to everything else around you. So if you're up close on the boss and you're giving him a couple of whacks and then you hit one of the minions next to him, blind, everything is going to be like staggered for a couple seconds, giving you that time to reload your guns, reposition, get some healing. This is going to be fun. Yeah. I think arc is going to bring a lot more utility to the already like decent meta we have going. Yeah. Void definitely brought survivability to everybody. Solar brought aggressive play to a lot of things. Like, it opened up a lot of build crafting, and then arc is going to be bringing a lot of crowd control. Sorry, I was stumbling over my words. Crowd control and surprisingly some good damage mitigation. Yeah. Specifically for you, and with the options of being able to blind everything, having increased armor, it kind of allows you to be a little bit more ballsy when it comes to like maybe going in and stunning that champion, because you know that used to be reserved for Omnioculus hunters with, you know, Aeons. Well, now you can just bolt in with arc on any class and get that kill, get out, drop a blinding grenade or whatever you got to do to eventually like leave. But this is going to be fun for GMs. This is going to be really very crucial for high-end content. When I'm excited to see what happens.
I think so. Yeah, moving on here. If you're doing the Val raid, keep an eye out for this guy right here for Barents. So this is the Salvage or Salvo roll. Ambitious Assassin Chain Reaction, but it's a wave frame and it's arc. This thing is fun. I love using it. I'm working on working on getting it crafted. Can't wait till I can craft it and get the enhanced traits on it. But yeah, that's another one to keep your eyes out for. Again, Salvage or Salvo, something you can pull out of collections. It's going to be not collections, but the monument. You can craft it. Yeah. Super cool. Now there are a bunch of arcane cannons. I can only recommend like 2 of them though. Okay, and both of them are going to be Posterity right off the rip. Rapid Hit Demo. That's a great roll. I got Rapid Hit Opening. Reconstruction, Recombination, also good. But it's... Open it up here. So, yeah, you can get Rampage, Demolitionist, One for All. Again, Redirection is really good. But yeah, if you can get Rapid Hit, or Reconstruction. Those are going to be super awesome. Feeding Frenzy too. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It's a solid hand cannon all the way around,
It is.
and honestly, one of the more enjoyable hand cannons I've actually got my hands on. Yeah.
The other one.
Honestly,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the other one I was going to say was Nature of the Beast. This is the only way you can get it is if Zur or Banshee is selling it.
What, Nature of Beasts?
Nature of the Beast.
Okay.
Yeah, not Nation of Beasts. There's two. There's Nation of Beast and Nature of the Beast. But this is another arc precision hand cannon, so it's a fast firing. But it can roll Vorpal, Dragonfly, as well as Subsistence. And Demolitionist. This thing, it's great. Yeah. It's great. I have a Dragonfly roll that I really, really like. So far as having a hand cannon that can make a bunch of things pop, it's super fun. So
yeah. But all that being said, these are definitely just our recommendations for what our fire team might be running. When it comes to building, crafting, and all this stuff, it really comes down to what do you want to use. Myself, I'm very much a practitioner of if I don't enjoy using a gun, I'm not going to be as effective with it. I can definitely force myself to use a meta pick just to kind of get by, but I don't like really using pulse rifles. I'm okay with scout rifles, hand cannons. Yeah, I can use them. Auto rifles, submachine guns. That's where I'm at. And fusion rifles. Not a big fan of a shotgun unless it's threat level. Otherwise, those are my picks for what I like to carry. I'm not proficient with grenade, like the breech loading grenade launchers, but I'm gonna find something that works for me specifically.
Yeah.
And that's where my recommendations would come from. It's find a weapon that gels with you, that you enjoy using, a perk combination that may not be the god roll, but it's a god roll to you. For instance, I want Demolitionist and Osmosis. That's my god roll. And that's not really a super meta pick every now and then. It has been like 2 seasons ago, and it will probably be this season, but it doesn't matter. It's what I enjoy using, and that's what I'm going to use. So all that being said, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. I'm sure you guys could tell us what your meta picks would be down in the comment section. But yeah, I'm very excited for what next season's going to bring to us. 3 more sleeps and we'll be there. I know I'll be watching the Twitch reveal, and if both of us didn't have to work that day, I'd probably say we could probably do it together. But
I did manage to get that day off.
Really?
I did.
What time is that going live? Because I don't know if I can pull that off, because I gotta take my son to his grandparents, and yeah, unfortunately I won't be able to do it. So maybe in the months to come, maybe I can get off for the next one and maybe pull that off. But so that's been Speaker Podcast number 23. Very exciting. Very much looking forward to Tuesday when we get to find out all the big stuff and what the raid is. Because I'm going to stay spoiler free to the end. So,
word.
I've been Batsam.
And I'm Xcalion, and this has been episode 23.